Hey, YouTube. This is Southern Purple One, and you know I'm crazy about the debt. I like to follow it. Um, doesn't really do anything for me if I follow it because I know the system is broken and it's going to crash. But let me show you the numbers. And there's a few sources out there. You can go right to the Treasury Department and get the official number, or you could go to the Debt Clock. I think it's the debtclock.org. But I'll put a link to it. But let me just show you. I have my book here, and I keep track a couple times a day. I write it down just so I know. But at 4 o'clock today on .org site, it was 33 trillion 968 billion. On the .org site, it's 34 trillion 2 billion. So we had an increase of about $34 billion. Now, if you went to the Treasury flipped over earlier than that. Um, the big number you need to know is this is per taxpayer. So at 4 o'clock, when I wrote these numbers down in the magic little book, and right now, a few hours difference, every taxpayer just went further into debt $4,140. So for me and my wife, that is over $8,000 of continual debt. Um, the reason I'm bringing this to you, hopefully it sinks in that you will realize that your retirement account, your savings account, will eventually be worth nothing because the dollar is collapsing. Also, additional countries joined the BRIC nation. Saudi Arabia could really put a nail in the coffin because they're going to go with the BRICS nation. And if they decide that the dollar is no longer the petrodollars needed, you will see this number just astronomically this year going higher and higher and higher. If you look at the interest we're paying, we're at $1 trillion. So $1 trillion a year, um, that number is a real number because when you pay taxes, a huge percentage of that money is going to just be used to service the debt, not to pay for needed services, not to pay for anything we need. It's basically wasted. Basically, the United States government, the leadership, has been hooked on credit cards because basically it's a credit card they're using. And anyone knows if you use a credit card to make purchase, you probably can't afford to buy that thing if you have to use a credit card. And eventually, uh, we are going to go under. Now, before they take us under, they're going to want an event to happen so they can blame the event on the final collapse of the dollar. They don't want us to take the responsibility, and it is the responsibility of Democrats, Republicans, all the presidents. It's Trump, it's Biden, it's all of them because they are just on this spending spree. I'm a conservative person. I do not like to own debt. If I use my credit card, I pay it off before I have to pay the interest. I immediately pay it off. There's some months that I pay early. I mean, I know I'm going to spend $1,000 on gadget B. I will pay additional money on my card. So as soon as that bill comes in, they have the money. And that makes me feel better because I don't like owing people anything. So me and my wife just got an additional $8,000 that is my share of the debt. Now, a lot of you are going to comment in there, it's not my share of the debt. I didn't authorize it. It doesn't matter if you authorized it. You are an American. You live in America. You will bear the responsibility of that debt. You might not think you're going to, but you will. Inflation, the collapse of infrastructure, the collapse of programs that you use, or if you don't use them, someone you know uses them, some loved one. So, yes, it's just numbers. It's continuing to go up, but I'm trying to get you to understand that your investments made in the stock market, and the stock market done great this year, might not be around. And I have to tell you, I'm not a financial advisor, so do not take any of what I'm telling you as financial advice and make any type of investments or changes in your finances because of what I say on here. I tell you what I'm doing. I'm trying to position myself where when the dollar collapses, I will have things, physical things that I could use to sustain myself, physical things that I could use to support myself. So sustain and support is very important. So major jump in the debt. We're going to see many, many, many more jumps into 2024. We are totally, totally bankrupt. It is a Ponzi scheme. So we can complain about it. We need to become informed about it and educate ourselves about it and try to educate other people. But the bottom line is, what are you going to do about it with the resources you have? You can cry and moan and complain, or you can come up with practical solutions how you can slowly take yourself out of the system. Whatever it takes to be out of the system, so when the systems collapse, you have some firm footing in an alternative economy. And that could be as simple of getting together with people locally and coming up with a system where you can barter or trade, or at least provide the basics of food and water, shelter, security, some medical. So you need to be working on that. You can put your head in the sand like many, many typical Americans are doing, and they continue to live their lifestyle. They continue to use their credit cards. But the American people right now are stressed to the max financially. A lot of them are dipped into savings. A lot of them are using credit cards to support a lifestyle that they think they need to live. This is a lifestyle maybe to compare to their neighbors, compare to other people, so they can fit in. Fitting in should not be what you want to do. Keeping up with the Joneses is not what you want to do. So I'm urging you, figure out what you can do when the dollar bill, when the Federal Reserve notes becomes worthless. And it's going to become worthless. It's getting worthless every day. If you go back from the start of when the Federal Reserve System came into play, when they took us off the gold-backed currency, you will see that the dollar is worth pretty much zero. And that's very evident of declining wages. I think in 2000, the medium income was $32,000. I just read this a couple days ago again, and now in 2023, the median income is 36. So we go from 32,000 to 36,000 in a 23-year span, and the cost of everything we're purchasing is gone way over that. So this is just more evidence. And you can be a Democrat and you can be a Republican. And hopefully we both can see that the powers that be, the government, is destroying us. They're taking us down where used to one person could make enough money to support the family. Now it takes two people to support the family, and sometimes you have to have multiple jobs. So the debt's going up. I'm urging you, prepare yourself when the Federal Reserve currency collapses. Thanks for watching.